Hello, welcome to Mancelona Broadcasting. I'm your host, Brendan Morse. Tonight's JV matchup between the visiting Central Lake Trojans and the home Mancelona Ironmen. Tonight a JV basketball matchup, boys basketball, the Ironmen. The home team trying to stay undefeated, and the Trojans trying to pick up a few more wins on the losing side of things. Only about one win this season. Definitely not what they have hoped for seasons, but a young group of guys will definitely call for better seasons ahead of them. A lot of ninth graders. Only one 10th grader. That's Trevor Buffman for the Trojans. He'll be number 50. But as for all their starters, they've got all freshmen. So it should be a definitely an interesting matchup, just going off of how strong the Ironmen are in transitions, shooting the ball, and just really disciplined all across the board fantastically. So tip-off moments away. Here we go. And the Ironmen get things started with a foul. So Caden Letts gets fouled by number 1 Austin Bay for the Trojans. Caden Letts, who's averaging or has about 85 total points this season, leading his team so far. And Matthew Boyer right behind him. So, starting lineup for the Trojans, number 1, Austin Bay. And number 3, Trevor Kane. Number 15, Marvin Allen. Number 20, Wyatt Putman. And number 23, Colin Altergott. So, Trojans now with possession after one made free throw by Letts. Quiet night so far. Varsity should be a little bit more packed for tonight's Ski Valley contest. Trojans coming in at 5-2 for the varsity, and the Ironman varsity squad still winless. So, starting lineup for the Ironman, number 21, Gianni Ansel. Number 34, Stoney Schramm. Number 24, Matt Boyer. Number 44, Caden Letts. And number 55, Tuku Mohenana Seni. So, Ironman can't get a basket there. A little quiet on the court. A little bit more talking needs to happen, really, between both teams. Austin Bay setting things up for the Trojans. Johnny Ansel with the defense there. Austin Bay back with it. Putman. Controller goes into the defense and can't buy a bucket there. Now the Ironman in transition. That's a block, goes down as a foul. Marvin Allen, great hustle, but just didn't get in the right position and fouls. So that will be 2 for Stoney Schramm. And Stoney Schramm off the first bucket. No good. Matthew Boyer called for the travel. Not a usual mistake you see from the leading sophomore. So I've had a chance to talk to head coach for the Ironmen, Chip Grody. I've been coached by him personally. I've played with a few of these athletes right now that are on the court. And I know them personally, so definitely have a feel with how they feel about tonight's game and just about the season. They want to stay undefeated. They love it. And Chip Grody told me earlier this season the guy he thinks is the leader on this team is Gianni Ansel. That's number 21, who just all around leads as Stoney Schramm puts that one up for 2, now 3-0. All together, Stoney Schramm does a great job finishing there. Overall, number 21, Johnny Ansel. Fantastic job in transition. He's smart with the basketball. Plays great defense. And overall, just smart player. He knows the game, and he's very coachable. That's something that was questioned at the beginning of the season, if he was really coachable. And he's definitely proved some of the questioners wrong. So here comes Ansel down the court to set up the offense. Ironman trying to get hot as they've been all season. Really haven't had any close games. They've really just dominated their opponents. Like I said earlier, transition game is key. That will be something the Trojans are going to want to stop and slow down. So far, the Trojans playing solid man-to-man defense. Ironman working the ball around. And Tuku Nanaseni gives that one up, but Ansel with the easy two. And Ansel gets that one to fall. Josh Todd, head coach for the Trojans. Some substitutions coming in. Number 32, Ethan Kelly comes in for the Trojans. And number 32 for the Ironmen, it's Tommy Palmer. Turnover as Devin Letts into the ball game. Another great athlete here for Devin Letts. In Devin Letts. Great transition player, fast, excellent shooter. As well as his brother who's got the ball right now. The Iron, we got to be careful holding the ball. Got to be smart offensively. Trojans already playing some physical ball. They're not going to let you hold that ball right out in front of them. Always protect it. So the Ironmen moving around the world and in. 7-0. Matthew Boyer with the easy two. So timeout called by Josh Todd. Talking things over with his Trojans. They're down 7-0. 3:46 remaining in the quarter. So the varsity team trying to pick up first win of the season. Trying to revamp the program. Into past success. Lady Ironman doing a fantastic job right now on the winning side of things. Just hovering at about 500 record-wise. Conference-wise, Lady Ironman hanging in there at about the 4th spot. So, Trojans to get things started after halftime. If you're Josh Todd, you gotta be telling your Ironman, sorry, you're not telling the Ironman, you're telling the Trojans. If you're Josh Todd, head coach for the Trojans, you've got to be telling your guys, move the ball around, set up some solid screens, make the Ironman question their moves. You know, you don't want to play a defense who's comfortable guarding you. You want to make a defense uneasy. Move the ball around a lot. And make them have to, rush to every spot. And eventually you keep moving that ball around and speed things up. There's got to be a lapse somewhere. So at the line, Wyatt Putman making the first one. Fouls on Johnny Ansel. And that one's good as well. And three ball, no good there by Letts. He's almost automatic from three. And that ball good. 7-4 now. Johnny Ansel over to Devin Letts. Ironman going around the three-point line, looking inside. Letts no good. Solid defense there. So I'm Brandon Morris. Stay tuned and continue watching live coverage of Mancelona versus Central Lake 7-4. Caden Letts at the line. I'll be right back doing the play-by-play for the Ironmen versus the Trojans. Hello, welcome back to Mancelona Broadcasting. Thank you for continuing your coverage. You're watching of tonight's coverage between the Mancelona Ironmen and the Central Lake Trojans. 38 seconds and counting for the first quarter. 15-4 Ironmen up on the Trojans. Austin Bay back to his fellow Trojans, working on Stony Schramm, facing the double team. Loose ball, but gets it back. Working inside the post and stolen away. Marvin Allen, guilty party there. And Stony Schramm missing in transition. Great defense there by Matthew Boyer to cause a loose shot. Quick shot here, and that'll do it for the first quarter. 15-14, or 15-4 is the score. Ironman on top of the Trojans. Hello, welcome back to Mancelona Broadcasting. 15-4 is the score. Ironman taking on the Trojans. So the Ironmen trying to remain undefeated on the JV level and on the varsity level, trying to get a win. So the longest drought in school history. The varsity team has not won a game since 2 years ago in the district finals game with Brandon Dingman and Griffin Boris. It's the last recorded win. But this young Ironman team should definitely bring some hope. Definitely should be a solid team once the sophomores are seniors and these freshmen are juniors. I'd definitely like to see how the competition is then and how they're able to really break apart from the competition. Really a tough part of the Ski Valley, the competition. A lot smaller schools from your average big school. So obviously smaller numbers means smaller competition, not as big of guys, maybe not as good as talent. So when you have a solid player in the Ski Valley, like a Brandon Dingman or a Gabe Merriweather, they're not always going to get as much notice as maybe an average player would for a Class A school or a Division I college. But Ski Valley definitely doing their thing. I like to think of the Ski Valley as like a Big Ten team. Just definitely slow. Definitely has their moments where they can be a great team, but overall kind of that slow momentum shifting team. Isn't anything fancy, but just does things the right way. Doesn't really look to be flashy. But they just play basketball. So 30-second timeout call by Chip Grody. It is still 15-4. 6:51 remaining in the half. Ironman on top. So Chip Grody really just going to keep rotating his players. He's not really expecting a whole lot from this Trojan team. Their record clearly shows they're not too competitive, but guess what? Teams like that are always the worst teams to play. When you got nothing to lose, you put it all out there, and sometimes the big upset happens. So Elijah Birchfield over to Matthew Boyer. David Buckler's inside, looking for some money in the post. Buckler getting some playing time. Trevor Kane, stolen by Buckler. 2-on-1 situation. What a spin move to the rim. Count it. Oh, man. Something you don't always see from a young freshman, let alone a guy who doesn't get to see a whole lot of playing time. But, hey, he's telling his coach, look at me. I can start too, and drains a free throw. So Buckler makes a three-point play happen off of a great steal and finish. And Trojans pick up some shooting opportunities at the line. It's going to be number 3, Trevor Kane, to shoot 2. So the Ironmen did move up a sophomore starter in Tim Corbin. He'll look to get some playing time on the varsity level. Ironmen definitely needs some size. That's something they've always struggled with. Matthew Boyer, good look inside, making it happen. Boyer, just one of those guys, cannot be disappointed if he has him as a player. Good athlete, plays fantastic basketball. Definitely his sport for sure. Can shoot the ball well, shoots pretty good threes. I have played with him in gym class and outside of team sports, and definitely a competitive player. You know, he's one of those players who doesn't always get things his way. Sometimes frustrated when he's not scoring, but once you just let him get in his rhythm and work kind of his way, then things work out positively. And it does not hurt that his grandpa and his dad are the coaches. Devin Letts jumping for the rebound, no good. Yeah, off shot there by the Trojans. Trojans doing a good job passing the ball around, still not getting solid shots that fall. They're getting looks, just not the good shots. Can't get them to fall. Oh, Johnny Ansel now with it, called for the carry. 20-6 is the score. Ironman still on top. Oh, what a no-looker Colin Alter got. With a fancy pass, and Trevor Kane gets it off the second chance opportunity and draws a foul. So, and one, he'll go and try and make this a 3-point play. So at the line, good. Trevor Kane, 3 points on that one. Some more substitutions coming up for the Ironmen. So Trevor Kane setting things up. Trevor Kane, 3-ball, no good. Devin Letts pulls down the rebound. Yeah, good finish there. Chuku Nanaseni making it happen. Chuku is one of those guys who plays great all-around basketball, has a sister and Eileen Nanaseni, who just so happens to be the top player in Ski Valley. So he's definitely been able to learn a lot from her, but he gets on himself. He's definitely hard on himself, sometimes to a fault. But overall, I feel like that's going to work out great in his future. Going to be a very disciplined player all around. So the Trojans doing a great job fighting in this game, keeping the rebounds on their side, but travels like that are not going to cut it for Josh Todd's team. When you're down 22-9 and you need solid possessions, cannot go around traveling like that. It may be JV, but still high school basketball. Try to keep the travels down to a minimum, if any. Well, sometimes you can't always help with the ref's call. Sometimes you didn't think you move your feet, and the refs saw differently. Good finish there by the Ironmen. Some good team basketball. Everyone giving each other high fives after that finish. Nanaseni was looking for the charge. And this is where the Ironmen thrive, the transition game. Ansel up top, all alone, tries it himself, and good. So 30-second timeout called. 26-9 is the score. Ironman still in the lead, working things around. So far, they've got a solid group of players on the court right now. Still plenty of guys looking to get some time in and see the floor. We got a few guys who are still ineligible, and that's something as a JV team you always want to stress. You always want to keep your guys eligible, grade-wise, health-wise. You never want to have to pick and choose from a smaller group of athletes. You always want a lot of guys to pick from, so as if you only have 7 guys on a team, if I'm a coach, I'm making sure these 7 guys stay healthy all season. I know some injuries are not preventable, but most of them are. And sometimes you got to take extensive measures to stay healthy. And, in high school sports, not everyone's always serious about the sport. Sometimes they just play it to play it. But a lot of these guys are serious about this sport, and they could tell by the scoreboard, 26-9. Ironman so far doing well. But the varsity team, so they'll be able to play 8 guys. They have 9 so far on the varsity roster if you include Tim Corbin into that now. But a few guys, they won't be able to play. Austin Guidi will not be able to play tonight due to sickness and missing practice, as well as Josh Adkins. So varsity, different story, but right now JV 29-9, 20-point ball game as Letts pulls up a 3-point. Good. 32-9. Tukunana Seni fighting off the screen. Trojans trying to get in that defense. Solid steal there. Caden Letts the other way. And draws a foul. Good hustle there. 23, Colin Alter got. Just trying to get that ball picked up a little wrist, but wasn't called. So mostly all ball there. Ref saw it differently, and now out of bounds. The Ironman with it. Missed 3-point there by Tommy Palmer. Elijah Birchfield almost got a piece. Stays with the Ironman. So overall, Ironman program trying to revamp the program, bring back the excitement. Bring back to the days where these crowds were full and it was constant yelling. It's beginning to seem a little bit more like a library in here, not a whole lot of talking. Still a minute remaining in the half, 32-9. Ironman just trying to keep on playing and relaxing. Right now, if you're the Trojans, you're trying to fight back into this game. Don't see a whole lot of talking from them. And that's definitely a key in basketball. Talk, talk, talk. All sports, all team play, all team sports involve talking, whether it's football, basketball. Got to talk to your team, let them know what's going on, what you see on the court, what you're dealing with, whether you need help or you see the shot coming. Someone to crash the boards and crashing the boards there. Elijah Birchfield, another young guy that Chip Grody will be happy to have next year. This is one of the larger teams Chip Grody's had that has stayed a lot of years. You'll have 15 plus guys go out for the team, and since there's no tryouts for Mancelona schools, they're automatically on the team. So you got 15 guys on a team, but usually 5 or 6 of those guys will quit, and then you're only dealt with about 9, if good. So 34-9 is the score at the end of 2. Ironman in the lead. I'm Brendan Moore. Stay tuned for the second half right after this. Hello, welcome back to Mancelona Broadcasting here on our YouTube channel. I'm Brendan Morris, your host. Second half of the JV basketball game between the Mancelona Ironmen and the visitors Central Lake Trojans. 34-9 is the score. Ironmen with a handedly lead. Really doing things great off sides of the table. But so far, Trojans unable to get any answers. Some solid shots they need. Solid shots. And they need to crash the boards a little bit more. They did all right offensively, but defensively, Ironman getting chance after chance to put the shot back and move the ball around. And as I've always said, Ironman do a fantastic job in transition. The Central Lake Trojans got to figure out a way to keep the turnovers down to limit the amount of shots the Ironman will get. And in transition, when they do cough it up, they got to hustle and stop ball. A lot of times teams are always worrying about their guy. They need to get the ball and stop the ball. So moments away from second half. Starting up next, varsity matchup between the Ironmen and the Trojans. Ironmen trying to pick up their first win of the season, and Trojans trying to stay on the winning side of things. So Ironman will start out with it. And start out the first half with the score. So number 15, Marvin Allen at the line. His first one, no good. And Allen can't get either of them to fall. Matthew Boyer now over to Ansel, who's left side to set up the offense. And the Ironmen did a good job working the ball around last time and getting great shots inside. That's what they're going to stress now. Stony Schramm goes baseline. No good to Matthew Boyer. And Kiddens, 3-ball, no good. But fighting for it. Juku gets it back to Boyer. And finally, after many missed shots, the Ironman will go to the line. That's number 44, Caden Letts, to shoot. So right there's a good example of what the Central Lake Trojans need to do. Need to cut down how many times the Ironmen are able to get the ball. They really shouldn't have had one shot. Really only one shot. And Trojans should have just grabbed that ball and tried to get themselves some points on the other side, but due to the bad rebounding there by the Trojans, Ironman got shot after shot after shot and get points out of it, 37-9. So anytime you make turnovers and mistakes in a ball game, the other team will definitely be able to capitalize on that. So the full court press coming, and stolen, sorry, almost stolen. The press put on by Austin Bay, but the Ironmen get it back. In transition, and see all the Ironmen get back and deny a good shot. It was an air ball 3. Not particularly a shot the Trojans should be taking at this point in time. Now, wide open look. Matthew Boyer had the shot, should have just taken instead of using his dribble. Could have just turned around and used it right there. But he'll go and try and get 2 points this way at the line. And a whole new look for the Ironman coming up. Matthew Boyer good for the first one. So 15 fouls there for Allen. Marvin Allen will go to the bench now. Trojans start things out. Inside, pressure coming, 3 ball, no good. Yeah, great rebound there by David Buckler. And Buckler has the ball, so he'll set up the offense. Ironman working things around. Playing unselfish basketball. Plenty of passes so far, but mistake there. Austin Bay. Transition. Good. Austin Bay coming off a bad pass. Ironman doing good. Passing the ball around. Just got to get quicker passes. Wasn't really a bad look, just a slow pass. So Josh Todd having some words with his young point guard. Turn around, jumper no good there. Wyatt Putman and Trojans trying to find a basket. Couldn't get anything to go there. David Buckler up top. Over to Josh Graham. And a turnover there. Something you don't always see, but all of the guys out besides Devin Letts don't usually start. So playing their bench players, trying to get them some solid time. It's always good to have a loaded bench like the Ironman do. Chip Gurley really can play any of these guys and expect good things from them. You obviously have some freshmen who are more comfortable playing than others. But overall, these guys are solid players and contribute to this team. And if I'm Chip Grody, I'm getting excited that many of these guys are freshmen, so they'll be coming back. Of course, losing Matthew Boyer and Caden Letts, 2 solid players. But other than that, you're keeping everyone that starts and plays a majority of the game. So players like Devin Letts will still be on the team, and Johnny Ansel and Tuku Nanaseni if they don't get moved up, which they could possibly get moved up either at the end of this season or next year at some point in the season, depending how the Ironman success is in the future. And if I'm Kurt Dingman on the varsity side, I'm going to guess he's had some frustrations. It's never fun. All right, there's zero fun in being a coach with no wins on varsity. However, there's definitely a lot more things he can bring from it. Knows all the guys that play on his team. He's coached them plenty of times before, since they were in 7th grade. So he knows his guys, and they definitely know each other on a personal level and can understand each other then. But still, no one likes to play basketball when they're not losing or when they're not winning. Everyone would love to play if they're not losing. But if you're Kurt Damon, definitely look forward to the next few years. They'll have a solid team and be able to get some wins. So a charge called there by a referee. .330 left in the third quarter. Not a smart pass there by Colin Altergat. Tried to sneak that one in, but the defense is sitting right behind you. Sometimes give it a little fake pass there and turn around yourself and get it open. But a lot of times when you're playing a team that is a lot more experienced than you, you got to work them around. You got to really make them work. Little off-ball screens and on-ball screens. A lot of screens to open things up and get better shots. And follow your shot. If you shoot the ball and it doesn't go in, well, you got a solid chance of getting it back. So fight for those opportunities. Tommy Palmer fighting for that rebound, 39-11. Had a chance to ask Elijah Newton, one of the senior starters for the Ironmen, some questions earlier. Some of the strengths the varsity team has is they move the ball up floor fast, but definitely need to recognize when to slow down and when to speed up. But definitely a good team in transition. I asked him, who your big stars, who are the guys you look to score, and he said, honestly, everyone. And you don't always see that a lot. In other teams, you always see a guy who really just stands out, and you just know that guy is the leading scorer. This guy is the backbone of this team. But a team like the Central Lake Trojans, definitely an all-around team. Everyone plays well together. Everyone scores together. And it's a whole team effort, which it should be. Tommy Palmer doing things for the team there. Can't finish, though. Foul drawn there. Austin Bay will go to the line. So number 11 call for the push for the Ironman. That's Kyle Hersha. And lane violation. So now the shot falls. Ironman to take over. If you're Matthew Boyer and company, got to be excited so far how the score's turning out. Yeah, get some relaxing time on the bench. Enjoy the nice lights in the gym. Get a little tan on and watch your bench players do work and get some great playing time in and read them on. So awkward shot, no good for Austin Bay. Fighting for the ball, will get it back. Hard work there by the freshman. And a big shot there, no good. Devin Letts coming down with the rebound. So it's always a competitive game when you get in the Ski Valley. Those close teams always playing each other, but a team like Central Lake is always a personal game. Just like Bel Air, Mancelona, Bel Air, and Central Lake rarely get along. Maybe outside of the sport, but in the sport, definitely a hatred rival there, whether it's football or basketball or baseball, really any sport. These two teams just never really get along, and it always makes for a great rivalry. And when teams are even, or the years, it's really exciting. A lot of times you'll have one team who's just a solid team, the other team having a tough year. Of course, right now in JV, that's what's happening. But when you have years when you got two teams who are rivals like this and both pretty evenly matched, calls for a fantastic ball game. So 25 seconds left in the third quarter. Kyle Hersha, no good off the glass. Central Lake Trojans is going to go to the locker room to talk things over before their varsity ball game. 5 seconds and counting. Devin Letts just taking his time. Oh, off the foot. Tried some moves there. 1.5 seconds. So referee wasn't set yet. Trojans were ready. They wanted to go right away. And count it. Right before the buzzer. 23, Colin Alter got with a deep three. Making it happen. 39-16 is the score. Stay tuned for their final quarter. Ironman lead right after this. Hello, welcome back to Mancelona Broadcasting. I'm your host, Brandon Morris. 39-16 is the score. Ironman on top. Johnny Ansel. Over to Matthew Boyer, tipped, but inside. Back to Boyer and in. Teamwork making the dream work there with Boyer and Nanaseni working together. Three ball. No good. Ansel fighting off the full court press. Did a great job there. Has Letts wide open in the post, but misses him. Matthew Boyer over to Schramm. 3-point, no good. And with a follow shot there, Caden Letts gets it to go off the missed shot. Gets his rebound and in. And that's how you play it there. 43-16. Stay tuned for that varsity matchup between the Ironmen and the Trojans. Trojans trying to improve to 6-2, while the Ironmen trying to get their first win of the season. Quick jumper, no good. And so far you can see the difference. The Ironmen getting a lot higher quality shots than the Trojans right now, and they're making a higher percentage as Matthew Boyer connects there. And really it's just shoot and catch it and shoot right now for Wyatt Putman. Not really looking to pass it or anything else, and not sure if he's going to be able to shoot his way out of this slump right now. And if I'm Josh Todd, head coach, good timeout there. Talk to his guys and get him a quick breather and go over some game plan. He got 6:24 to work with here in the fourth quarter. why not draw up some fresh plays, do something to revamp this team, because right now they're not feeling too good or looking too good, trying to fight back in this ball game. Granted, they're playing a very good Ironman JV team, but they could definitely play here. Ironman aren't making their shots right away. The Ironman definitely are struggling shooting-wise. They're still making a lot of shots, still making good shots, but for the most part, they have not made their first shot. It usually takes them 2-3 shots to finally get it. So if you're Trojans, key in on that. Really crash the boards hard. There should be 5 at the boards at all times. Box out. And it should just be a big circle. And the ball should land right in the middle. There should be 5 Trojans around it. If you're doing your job correctly, of course, that's a lot harder said than done. But if you do it correctly, it can easily be done. Matthew Boyer inside, stolen. In transition, couldn't find anyone. And he had 3 Trojans who were back, who should have been up there. And that's another thing in transition. You've got teams who do well and teams who don't do so well. Teams who do well in transition have 5 guys getting back. You've got guys on the wings. And when you're in transition, not everyone should go to the hoop. You got maybe 1 or 2 guys go to the hoop to get the possible rebound, and then you have the rest of the guys spreading things out. One hopefully staying back on defense, and maybe you got 2 guys who are really good shooters and able to get them some solid shots. But overall in transition, what you don't want is you don't want to see 3 guys slacking and really behind the rest of the group. You don't want it to be a 2-on-5 situation. If you've got the ball, you need to push it, and you need to make sure all you guys are sprinting back to set something up real quick, because a lot of times that's when you can get your solid points, is transition. And a lot of teams don't realize how valuable those points are when you turn the ball over and the other team continuously goes back and forth with the ball. I saw East Jordan do it against our varsity team. Coming out in the third quarter, the Ironmen were up by 4. By the end of the third quarter, they were down double digits. And the first 3 possessions were steal, turnover, layup, steal, turnover, layup, steal, turnover, layup. All 3 times the Ironmen struggled in transition. Good floater there, but couldn't find the home. But Stony Schramm cleaning it up. And a foul going to be called here. So it's going to be the battle of the hustle teams. Both varsity teams in Central Lake and Mancelona hustle well. They work hard. But there's a clear difference. Trojans, a little bit more size to them. Ironman's tallest guy now is Tim Corbin. Before it was Preston Squires. And he doesn't even play post all the time. Sometimes they switch it up, and he'll be out on the wing. Devin Michaels. Devin Letts on the bench. Matthew Boyer working on him. That's a signature move there. Nice move there by the sophomore. And it's going to go the other way. A bad pass there. He's looking for Marvin Allen. Once again, thank you for watching. I'm Brendan Morris. You can watch all live coverage of Mancelona Sports here on our YouTube channel. We apologize if we have not been able to get every game. Some complications due to scheduling between myself and my fellow workers, Harmon and Gabe Goodman, my trusty camera crew. Definitely busy lives outside of broadcasting. But for the most part, we'll be here with live coverage. Both Mancelona girls and boys basketball as well as wrestling. And a good shot there by Ansel. Going to the glass, left hand. 53-19 now is the score. Devin Letts and Chukunana Seniwit to check in. 3-ball no good. And no good with the steal. What a block there by Ansel. And here we go. That's the transition game I'm talking about. Kaden Letts, easy two. So at the line shooting, Colin Altergott. Finishes there, 55-22 now. 30-point ball game. Good look there, Gianni Ansel. Had some good spin on that one. Couldn't quite find it. 3-ball, no good. See, Ironman missed all their shots right now. That's another missed shot. But guess what? They got their own rebound multiple times. They couldn't finish there, but all together, that was a pretty solid possession because look how many rebounds they were able to get. That's all right if your shots don't always fall. As long as you get back and play some defense, you can make it up. Matthew Boyer, 3 defenders, gets fouled. Tommy Palmer to inbound for the Ironman. Good hesitation there by Birchfield. Can't get that one to fall either. Foul called. .2:13 remaining in the ballgame, 55-22. Trojans in the bonus. That one good. Trevor Kane at the line. Once again, don't miss the varsity action after the commencement of this game. Hey, great job fighting for it. Trevor Kane, got to see some more of that enthusiasm and that aggressive play there. David Buckler doing a good job of evading the defense. David Buckler finding an open shot, was not set. Got to set the feet before you shoot that one, young guy. But, hey, he'll go to the line, try and get those 2 points back. First one, good. Yeah, second one, no good. Hey, almost gets his rebound. Teammate helps him out. Josh Graham stolen away. Great hustle there by Kyle Hersha. And back and forth to both teams turning it over a few times. One more time. Ironman trying to keep it together now. And they do, back on their side of the court. David Buckler called for the travel. He was looking for around the back. Chip Grody not happy with that one. He's not looking for style points. He's looking for baskets. 56-23. David Buckler going out. So Ironman will remain undefeated. Keep the streak alive. It'd be nice if they can go undefeated this season. What a three there. Austin Bay coming alive. That'll definitely give some hopes for that future if the Ironman can go undefeated this season. Although it's JV, doesn't always mean a whole lot. It's great preparation for varsity. A lot of times, of course, who you play on JV right now is who you'll be playing with for the next few years. So get used to it. So it's always nice to get a head start like this, be able to have this good of a team on JV now, and hopefully it translates over to a solid team on varsity. But also, you got to work hard. If you're the Ironman, cannot let pure talent take over, because like the famous Miracle quote says, you don't have enough talent to live on talent alone, and that is a very true case. You got to work hard here in the Ski Valley. Not a whole lot of just pure talented players. Even Gabe Merriweather had to work for what he got. That stuff is not all natural. There's some natural ability for sure, athleticism. But overall, you got to spend hours and hours in the gym to be a fantastic basketball player. And that's what all these guys got to do. They're all still young, a lot of them freshmen, sophomores. Get in the weight room, start working out, get in the morning and play more basketball like I know Tommy Palmer does for the Ironman and Johnny Amsel does, as well as Tuku Nanaseni. Constantly work on your mechanics and becoming a better basketball player in the offseason. Three ball, no good. 30 seconds left in the ball game. Transition, good defense there. A way to get back, Devin Michaels. And turnover. Trojans will not win, but they're just looking for one or two less solid shots, and the Ironman looking to just end things right away. 8 seconds and counting. So stopped at 4 seconds. That one is in. 3-point good by Kyle Hersha to end it. Final score 59-26. The Mancelona Ironmen stay on top of the Ski Valley and stay undefeated. And the Central Lake Trojans moved to 1-7 on the season. So thank you for listening. I'm Brandon Moore. Stay tuned for the varsity matchup. Once again, final score 59-26, Ironman victory. Hello, welcome back to Mancelona Broadcasting. I'm your host, Brendan Morse. Tonight's varsity matchup between the Mancelona Ironmen and the Central Lake Trojans. About 4 minutes before tip-off. Some key things to go over. Trojans at 5-2. Ironmen still winless this season. Which team really has the advantage? And it points clearly to Central Lake. Overall, fantastic team. They move the ball great defensively and offensively. In transition, they don't really have anyone who's a star scorer player, but overall, just sound basketball they play. And on the other side, Mancelona, winless, not a whole lot size-wise or stardom-wise, but overall, you got a group of guys who've been playing together for a long time. All of these guys know each other very well. It's just a matter of really meshing together the pieces. Don't always have things going their way, but I have not seen a single game where they have not been in the game the whole entire time. Every single game they've played, at one point in time, they had a chance. Whether it was at the first few minutes of the first quarter or at the end of the ball game, they only have, some tough losses to very good teams. But some of their losses that people don't really look at, they only lost by 10 points, which is a matter of a few free throws. And a lot of times they see that they lose by a matter of 10 points and they missed 5 free throws or 6 free throws. That's 6-7 points right there that they could have, gotten back. Transition is an area they would definitely like to improve defensively. Definitely putting together better stands against teams who press very well. Definitely want to work on breaking presses. And overall, the Ironmen just got to work on team chemistry. Don't have a whole lot of team chemistry. They have spurts where they do well together, but overall, they have not played great team basketball. Overall, they've got a whole lot to prove just based on their performance and their record. But at the same time, they just need to play basketball. They got to stop worrying about what their record shows and what everyone thinks. Just start playing some basketball. Play good team, sound basketball. And limit their turnovers, and that's something they're going to want to work on. Rebounding great, working hard great, everything great. And that's what you got to strive for. Strive for greatness, and that's something we're going to try to do tonight to get their first win of the season. Not going to be easy against this Trojan team, who's had some success in the past against the Ironmen. Last year, Ironmen were, of course, winless. And the Central Lake Trojans came here and beat the Ironmen in a buzzer beater. The Ironmen are actually down most of the game. The Ironmen came back, took the lead, and then lost at a buzzer beater. So this game coming up right after the national anthem. I'm Brendan Moore. Stay tuned. Hello, welcome back to Mancelona Broadcasting. I'm your host, Brenda Morse, moments away from tip-off between the Mancelona Ironmen and the Central Lake Trojans. Ironmen trying to defend home court advantage, still winless on the season, but that doesn't mean they can't start now. The Ironmen facing a very good Central Lake Trojans team. I wouldn't say very good, I would definitely say well-rounded. Sitting kind of in the middle of the Ski Valley, sitting at 5-2. Definitely a competitive team and some solid players on this team. Look for number 3, Skylar Spangler, is a JV standout last year. Interesting to see what he does on the varsity level for the Trojans. Overall, they don't have a whole lot of singled out players that score individually. Overall, a team effort for sure. Starting lineup for the Trojans as they work the ball around. Number 3, Skylar Spangler. Number 4, Jace Hoogerhide. Number 5, Grant Papineau inside, who works to get that bucket to fall. Number 33, Elijah Newton. And number 34, Brett Dewey. On the Ironman side, number 4, Dylan Durr. Number 10, Isaac Cousineau. Number 11, Jack Clark. Number 21, Preston Squires. And number 22, Lucas Winstead. Grant Papineau looking for his 3rd point. And that play makes it happen. 3-0, Trojans start the ball game off with that score. Now the Ironmen, based on emotion offense, like to do a lot of man-to-man. Don't do a whole lot of zone defenses. And they've definitely taken their press away. They have not abandoned the press, but as far as transition game goes, they've struggled trying to get back as a team. They, of course, have low numbers, so guys get tired a lot sooner, which calls for a better conditioned team. But when you only got 7 guys to play and 5 are gassed for playing almost the whole game, it's not always smart to play a full court man-to-man press. A good pass there. Elijah Newton couldn't get there in time. Dylan Durr bounces it off the Trojans. It stays Ironman ball. Kurt Dingman trying to get his first win on the varsity level. It's had great success on the middle school level as well as JV, but now looking for it to transition over to varsity. And a 3-ball there by Squires. Ties it up 3 apiece. Once again, thank you for watching. Happy done. I know you're watching. I appreciate the views as well as to my friends over in Daytona. Thank you for watching. And all over, if you're watching tonight's broadcast, you can comment, like, message me personally and how you enjoyed or did not enjoy the broadcast. Always things to work on, even here up top with the headset. Not as much gameplay, though, as right here on the court. Ironman did a good job of getting back. Jack Clark did a good job blocking that potential shot. And that's what I'm talking about. The Ironman got to get back and transition, deny those easy shots. That ball, no good. Lucas Winstead on top of it. So Ironman run a motion offense, lots of screens off the ball, staying open. The Ironman definitely get away from solid defense. They're sometimes worried about their man more than they're worried about the ball, and that's one thing they got to learn to stop tonight is the ball, because you got a lot of guys who can handle it well. The definite leader on this team, Elijah Newton, just based on his experience. One of the lead seniors on this team. Eddie Bowe into the ball game, an excellent shooter. And watch for 23 to pull up the tray, and a travel called on Elijah Newton. So neither one of these teams are flashy in any way they play, but both can get the job done. Fundamentally, Yeah, bad pass. Not a smart pass either. Cross court, but he was in trouble. So you wonder why Dylan Durr took that pass. Well, he's feeling the pressure, and Ironman needed to do a better job of getting to the ball and getting open. Because right there, he really didn't have anyone to throw to. So luckily, they get it back. But they're feeling pressure way before the three-point line, and that's going to cause trouble for trying to get open and get some good shots. Rich Squires got a good shot there. 5-3. Eddie Bow trying to get things started. No good. Eddie Bow. Correction there. So Dylan Durr, great ball handler. Took a year off last year, back into it. And I do remember playing time on JV. He's always the one you wanted with the ball. Isaac Cousineau, no good from three. And on the JV level, he was a fantastic shooter. Him and Kendrickson lit things up from three. Kendricks was more of a post player, of course. And Spangler with the sparky move there. Stays with the Ironman, tied at 5 apiece. So a JV matchup, the Ironman won 59-26, defeating the Trojans. Stay undefeated on the season. Cousineau, three ball, no good. Spangler gets there in time to disrupt. So Elijah Newton will lead the ball game, and coming in, another senior, Kyle Russell. It's number 11. Kyle Russell gets open. That one, good. And they're going to call that a three ball. Not sure if anyone saw it. It looked like the foot was well below the line, but 8-5. Ironman fighting for the ball. Papineau gets it. Fighting for the ball. Spangler finally gets it back. Ironman. So the Trojans just got to settle down, get into a rhythm. Kyle Russell over to Spangler. Spangler going to go baseline against Cousineau. No good there. And that's what you want to see from James Kendricks, winning the rebound game against Papineau. So at the line, shooting two, Isaac Cousineau. That one no good. 8-6. Trojan lead. Spangler right side. Guarded by Cousineau, trying to fight away from that screen. Trying to cut off the baseline. Good job there by Clock. Denying baseline access. Yeah, foul there. So they're just going for the block and picks up a foul. That's going to be 34, James Kendricks. Papineau at the line, sinks the first one. 9-6. And Papineau with that 2-2 at the line. Now Cousineau with it. Spangler gets inside the passing lane, steals it, and now fighting for the ball. And it's going to be 11-jack clock called for the foul. Just diving for the ball. Got some contact there on Papineau, though. Brett Dewey controls it. Over to Kyle Russell. Eddie Poe gives a look. Doesn't shoot. Kyle Russell now shooting away. 3-ball, no good. Got a lot of guys on this Central Lake team that can shoot the ball. Spangler looking to Dewey. Outside the bow, the quick release. No good. And a fantastic job there by James Kendricks. Used the box out against Papineau and let the ball roll out of bounds. That is sound basketball right there. And that's what the Ironmen got to keep doing. So timeout called by the Ironmen. I'm Brendan Morris. We'll be back right after this score. 10-6 Trojan lead. Hello, welcome back to Mancelona Broadcasting. 10-6. Ironman with it. Dylan Durr working on Brett Dewey. Inside is Kendricks. That one blocked away. And what a play there by Cousinal, out jumping. And a travel there, Squires. And him and Durr got to be careful. Their teammates don't want to be fighting over that one. Hopefully they're just talking gameplay, because that is a problem the Ironmen have, is a lot of talking, not enough playing. Tim Corbin in the ball game now, and Tim Corbin with the rebound. Tim Corbin, open shot, no good there. 10-6 still. 40 seconds remaining. Dewey goes to the rim, no good. Papineau working. He doesn't find it. Cousinal out jumping them all. Way to go, 10. 3-ball, this is Squires' range, no good. Over to Durr. Ironman trying to get a shot off before the quarter ends. Corbin, in and out. That's going to be over, back call. It's going to be a hold call on holding. Foul on James Kendricks. And he's not happy. I don't know if I agree with that call either. Had the ball, he did not grab. He wasn't holding him. The referee gives him some explanation, and that could have been the right call. There's a reason I'm not wearing the referee jersey. I'm just up here in the stands. Still 10-6, Kyle Russell at the line. Already in the bonus, Trojans. Ironmen have 17 fouls already. Quick shot. 3-ball, no good. And after one quarter, it is 10-6. Ironmen down to the Trojans. Stay tuned for the second quarter. Hello, welcome back to Mancelona Broadcasting. I'm your host, Brandon Morse. 10-6, Trojan lead. Ironman still doing a good job crashing the boards and getting some good rebounds. James Kendrick's already with 2 personal fouls. Got to keep him out of foul trouble, but Kendrick's doing good things as well. Trying to get the big man, Tim Corbin, involved. First game on varsity for the sophomore center. Needs some height on this team, and a bad pass there by Durr. Elijah Newton with the steal. Falling to the ground. Number 13, Noah Newton getting involved. And Tim Corbin drawing a foul. So Amron just trying to get better passes off. Durr's definitely been faulty of a few bad passes, but that just means the Ironman got to do a better job of getting open as well. Can't put it all on one player. Definitely got to be working away from the ball, getting open. Can't just spend your time standing there and expect to get open. Noah Newton to fellow Newton, Elijah Newton. Oh, what a tip there, stolen. Squires and Kujanov credited with it. Kujanov up top, 3 ball. No good, that's bound to fall. And Kujanov comes down with the rebound, but easily blocked. It would have been nice if we could have put it back real quick. Jack Clark, have not seen a whole lot of shooting out of him this season. As far as home games, he has shot at away games, but his percentage needs to increase. If he made 50% of his shots, he'd be the leading scorer on this team. And a missed shot there by the Ironman. Durr, fouling. And that's there, he grabbed him. I don't know what he's trying to argue with. There's a clear foul. He did make contact with Eddie Bowe. But they're going to call it during the shot. So he was trying to get more contact on the ball. But didn't get it. So Eddie Bowe. That's a 3-point free throw line. And Eddie Bowe, good for 2 there. 12-7. Oh, almost stolen by Kyle Russell. And that's going to be a foul. 21, Cody Truscott. Some physical ball there. He thought that was all ball. And could agree with him. It looked like a lot of ball. Hopefully keeps the talking down. Never want to argue with the referees, get teed up. So Kujanov missing the first one, and that is something I work on so much. Free throws, free throws, free throws. Every time I've been able to practice with them, that's one of the biggest things I stress is free throws. So if I'm Isaac Kujanov, I'm going to make sure that's the last free throw I ever miss. Especially the way the teams have been playing lately. You need all the free throws you can get. 12-8, Ironman sticking with it so far. Here in the second quarter, Trojans still on top. Donovan Eggleston talking things over. So I'm Brendan Moore. Stay tuned right after this. 12-8, Trojan lead. Hello, welcome back to Mancelona Broadcasting. I'm your host, Brendan Morse. 12-8 is the score. Ironman in a zone for the first time. No longer man-to-man. They're going to make the Trojans shoot their way into the lead. Already, of course, have the lead 12-8. Foul on Jack Clock. That's his third foul. Already, Clock in foul trouble. That's not good. Papineau sinking the first one. Can't get that one to fall, or could get that one to fall. Some distraction off the away from camera. Hey, it's not always easy being a commentator. There's definitely some struggles with it. But overall, not nearly enough stress to what the Ironmen have been through lately, trying to get on the winning side of things. Kuzhna, solid finish. Brett Dewey got some contact to the face. Kurt Dingman not happy. Jump ball. Kurt Dingman not happy with the refereeing, and I would agree with them. They got to call it right away. They called a foul on Jack Clock for barely touching a Central Lake player, and no foul there, even though the players were all over him. So the referees got to get it right and to be even, because so far they have not. But overall, still, it's obviously high school basketball. There's definitely a humanistic touch to it. You know, you got human referees, human coaches, human players. You're going to have mistakes. It's never easy, but you're going to do your best to make it a even game. You got to call things both ways. So 14-10, Ironman still behind the Trojans. Trojans doing a good job of working the ball around. The Ironmen doing a good job too, but still need to keep the turnovers down. That's something that's always going to kill someone. I'm almost positive every game, if I've been correct, the team with the most turnovers usually loses the game. You don't usually see a team that makes that many mistakes winning games. Kuzhna up top, putting pressure on Newton. They're going to force the Ironmen to shoot some outside shots. And fighting for the ball. And that is not a smart play there. Foul called on Lucas Winstead. Grant Papineau will go back to the line. Grant Papineau to shoot. And that one good. So 17-10 now is the score. Lucas Winstead controls it, gets away from the defense. Now Preston Squires with it. Kuzhna over to Winstead. Stolen. Elijah Newton the other way. In transition, Eddie Bowe. Good. In transition, 3-on-1. Elijah Newton, easy bucket to go. And a necessary timeout called. So Kurt Dingman, of course, not really happy with the referees. I mean, now he's not happy with his players, giving up some unnecessary turnovers. So 21-10, jumps up just like that. Now up by 11, what do you do? If you're the Ironmen, keep the turnovers down, because right now that's what they're doing best at, is turning the ball over and easy transition shots. There's a 3-on-1 opportunity for the Trojans and easily get it done. There should be a 3-on-5 opportunity. The Ironmen need to get back and need to work on the fundamentals, because right now they're playing sloppy basketball. Dylan Durr with it, guarded by Dewey. Dylan Durr dribbling around. Finds Squires inside. Why would you let that ball go like that is definitely something I'm wondering if Kurt Dingman's wondering, because that's a bad turnover there by Squires. Just lost control of the ball. Got to protect the ball in the post. Charging call. To 21-10, Trojans with it. Spangler controlling it, guarded by Kujanov. Yeah, that's good. Trojans. 23-10. And the Ironmen get some points. James Kendricks trying to be a verbal leader there. Keeping everyone in check defensively. Spangler back to Newton. Hoogerhide inside, almost stolen by the Ironmen. What a play there. Dylan Durr popping it out. And turnover the other way, Ironman. Dylan Durr back to James Kendricks. Travel called. And Kirsten not happy about that one. So it's just a little movement, so a little short stutter step right when you get the ball. That's what they're calling. So you got to keep your feet planted once you get it. And it's not always easy. You're in the moment. Elijah Newton, no good. Rare miss from him. Spangler against the defense. Foul call. That is the correct call. It's awesome chopping on the arm. It's going to be on 24, Tim Corbin. Corbin picks up his first personal. Team 5th. And team 10th, actually. Central Lake in the bonus. Spangler. Easy bucket there. Spangler's definitely one of those young guys you can't wait to have back next year. Only in 10th grade. 2 more solid years out of him. All around, fantastic player. And guys like Brett Dewey and Chase Hoogerhide, other guys that will be around here for the next year or so. They'll have some solid size, and Grant Papineau, he's only in 10th grade. He'll be here for another 2 years. And Squires gets that 2-pointer to fall, down by 10, 24-14. 1 minute, 20 seconds remaining. What a pass there. And that looked like a shot from last year when the Ironmen lost on a buzzer beater to Elijah Newton with that same exact pass, except Jared Hebden threw it over to Elijah Newton at this side of the court, and he had a quick jump and put back to get them the buzzer beater score. So, 24-14 still the score. Ironman still trying to get some solid shots. A minute now before the half expires. Once again, I'm Brandon Morris. Thank you for watching. You can watch all of our live coverage here on our Mancelona broadcasting page. And transition. Ironman win that rebounding game. Rebounding possession. Kujanov, quick shot, good. Silky smooth. 24-16. Yeah, get blocked there, but it's going to be out of bounds. Stays with the Trojans. Spangler. Brett Dewey, 3-ball, no good. And James Kendricks throwing it away. It wasn't even close, but I think he knows that. He was a little off balance. So, halftime score, 24-16. Trojan lead. Ironman going to draw something up at halftime. Look to improve what's been a rocky first half, but altogether still playing well with the Trojans. So, once again, I'm Brandon Moore. Stay tuned for the second half right after this. Hello, welcome back to Mancelona Broadcasting. I'm your host, Brendan Morris. 24-16, Central Lake Trojan lead. The Mancelona Ironmen, some foolish turnovers. Need to keep that down. Bad passes have plagued them so far in the first half. They got to do a better job of making solid passes, moving the ball around. And when they do turn it over, you got to get back. Should always have 5 guys in transition. Should not be a 3-on-1 transition with the Trojans easily scoring. And that's how Trojans have gotten up 24-16. And, of course, some fouls that aren't exactly smart fouls have been called. The referee's not doing a great job at calling some of their fouls, but overall cannot let that impact the game. Got to just play your basketball. Not the referee's basketball. Trojans working things around. And almost stolen. It's not the first time the Ironmen have had an easy chance to steal it and just cannot grab the ball to steal it. And Grant Papineau gets another chance. That one's in. Shot there. Kendrick's no good. Foul by Spangler. Kuzhina, no good from 3. Have not made one yet. And Dylan Durr, good job drawing a foul. And that's smart basketball. So Dylan Durr took a year off, of course. But he knows the sports. He's just one of those kids you just know he's a smart player. Whether it's football, basketball, baseball. He's good at all of them, and he's smart about it. And he understands the game. So when you got a situation like that, a lot of times guys would usually travel or go out of bounds, but in his case, smart basketball, draws the foul. Now he's just got to make some of the free throws. Missing both there. Kurt Dingman definitely not happy about that. Brett Dewey at the line. No good there. That one's good. Ironman working it around. Dylan Durr call for the travel. Good play there by the Ironman. Squires working hard in the post against Newton. Kuzhina still cannot get it, and I'm not sure if he wants to keep trying to shoot his way out of this. Transition, easy score. That's what I'm talking about. You got 3-4 Ironmen nowhere near the vicinity, and Spangler is easily able to get behind coverage and get an easy score, and then he got a bad play there. Preston Squires grabbed the ball. You had an open shot. So a lot of frustration right now. Still plenty of frustration. This Mancelona team, just no answers. A little frustration right now on the bench, trying to piece things together. You always see a little improvement week by week, but still the whole picture needs improvement. But definitely credit these guys for working hard. You know, they've got a Very small team. Numbers not their size. Size is not in their favor either. But they still do a good job of working hard and keeping their heads up. Because you got a team who's constantly losing, and after a while, they're not going to want to play anymore. And you have a lot of kids who will just quit. But overall, these guys have stayed relatively positive. They know they're not the favorite, but they're here to play basketball. In the corner, Newton fires. Good. That one's a 2. 31-16. Dylan Durr with the Hot Wheels. And Jack Clark loading up for that deep ball. Brett Dewey, 3 ball. No good there. And the Ironmen get it. Preston Squires and Papino fighting for it. Now the full court press. Ironmen need to learn how to break this. This is something that they've had trouble with, but do a good job there. Kendricks, open shot. Got to make those. And a foul, count it. Papino, go to the line. Nice play there by the sophomore. Way to finish. 33-18. Yeah, that one's good by Papino. Well, the Ironmen sitting at the bottom of their conference, and hey, there's nowhere but up to go. There's nowhere to go but up. Ironman working in his zone. Cross pass there and travel called. No shot. So overall, Kurt Dingman's still not happy with the way this game's been being called. 34-18. He's got to get his guys fired up. Try and get them in some type of rhythm. Lucas Winstead, one of the senior leaders on this team. He's one who's definitely had to face some adversity in sports. Had a tough season in football, now one in basketball, just struggling with winning records. And he's one who's always been around the winning teams ever since I can remember. Him and I have always watched great teams play. Mancelona's always had solid teams, and now that he's the one that everyone's watching, they're not so good, and that's not always easy to deal with. You know, when you've always been good, and now you're the ones who are in charge, and you're struggling to put good games together. What do you do? And Lucas Winstead has handled it well and kept very positive. Still, of course, not happy with the way they've been playing, but nothing you can do but improve it week by week. 34-19 is the score. Kyle Russell out to Dewey. Dewey inside a Papin, and that one's tipped up and stolen by Winstead. Lucas Winstead over to Isaac Kuzhna. 3-point ball, no good. Kuzhna still unable to score. He's got to work the ball around, give someone else a shot. His are not falling right now. And Winstead is pushed out of bounds. Kyle Russell, the guilty party. Dylan Durr with it. Guarded by Brett Dewey. That should be a foul. But no, don't call it. And that's something that should be brought up. That was a clear. He was going for the trip and then grabbed the arm of Dylan Durr, but no foul called. And that's something the referee's got to key up on. It does matter. Papineau with the ball. Winstead fighting for it. Squires, good fake. Dylan Durr pulls up. No good. His brother's laughing in the stands at that shot. But good look for Dylan Durr. You just got to keep pressing those or pushing those shots, and hopefully something goes in. Because at this point, nothing's really falling for the Ironman. Three-second violation called. It's 21 Cody Truscott. So Lucas Winstead with a minute to go, trying to pull together a good possession before the quarter ends. James Kendricks. Over to Cousinal. Back to Kendricks. Wide open shot. And still no shots falling for the Ironman. And that's going to bring up some frustration. When you're shooting wide open shots and they're not going in, there's nothing to do but, obviously shoot a better shot. But, hey, isn't that an easy explanation? Getting them in is the hard part. Dylan Durr all the way to the rim. Ooh. He thought there was a little bit more contact there. It looked like it, but, hey, referees saw a ball. The Ironmen finally get a call their way. Jonathan Eggleston letting his guys know, keep your feet still. Solid platform. Once you start shuffling those feet around or other catching the ball, you're on defensive side, it's always going to be called. It's something you don't do. It's something you don't always recognize. You're just in the motions, and then you move the feet. So, timeout called. 34-20 with 27 seconds remaining in the ball in the third quarter. We'll be back right after this. Stay tuned. Welcome back. Lucas Winstead at the line. And that one no good. Tim Corbin doing a good job of rebounding it. And then Squires gets fouled off the rebound. Good job there by Squires. 23 seconds left. And a miss there by Squires. Squires with it, got to get a quick shot off. Deep three, almost. So after 3 quarters of play, it's 34-20 in this low-scoring game. Trojans in the lead. Ironman trying to put together a final quarter drive and pick up their first home win and first win in 2 years. Stay tuned for the final quarter right after. Hello, welcome back. After 3 quarters. $34-20. Trojans working the ball around. So once again, thank you for watching. If you're ever in the Mancelona area or Bel Air, we encourage you to go visit Papa K's Best Pizza in town. I've started my Papa K's diet, and so far I've lost 3 inches on my waist and feeling good. No, just kidding. That's not correct. I have not started a Papa K's diet, although if I did, I would not be disappointed. Very good pizza. So, Lucas Winstead with it. Over to Tim Corbin. And Tim Corbin gets that one to fall, the young sophomore. Deep 3 by Eddie Bowe. No good. And 3 ball good. Spangler. 37-22. Jet clock. Inside of Kendricks. Good luck, but can't finish. $40-22 now, and Trojan lead slowly escalating. Ironman. No answer so far. So the Ironman trying to put together a 4th quarter comeback, but it's gonna take a lot. They got 6 minutes. Only down 4-22. And at one point or another, time's going to run out. And in that time frame, they definitely got to crash the boards better, keep their turnovers down, and make their shots. That's something they've not done. It's obviously easier said than done. But you're playing a game where, in order to win, you have to make more shots and more baskets than the other team. So in order to do that, give yourself some better opportunities shooting the ball. Don't just throw up junk shots. And if you're in the post, James Kendricks has been working for shots all day long. Got to use that glass. Give him a move. Give him a double move. I know Jack Clock did a fantastic job last year on JV with the quick mid-air jumper. Just a crazy shot that always seemed to work. Got to get the other team on their heels, always thinking, because you let a team just play defense on you, you're not going to go anywhere. And defense non-existent there. Another missed shot. So I would not be letting Kuznal be shooting anymore. Nothing against him. He's just not having a good night shooting-wise. Definitely can do things passing the ball or rebounding as well. But as long as he's trying, he's putting his full effort forward, just not getting things to go his way. Good ball movement there by the Trojans, but coughing that one up. Jump ball. Some water or sweat on the court. Don't have the luxuries of the NBA where you've got the guys with the quick mops that can clean stuff up in between timeouts and stuff. But hey, you've got referees with towels. That's always a plus, right? 40-22. Trojan lead. Dylan Durr off the screen from Clock. Working on Russell. Inside Corbin. Back to Winstead. Corbin fires a shot. No good. Corbin. Travel. What? Don't know. It looks like he took his 2 steps and shot. Oh, and Elijah Newton loses it. And the Trojans have done a good job of when fouls or calls don't necessarily go their way. They've done a good job of just sucking it up and keep playing. They haven't really gotten any major frustration calls on them where they've just not been able to handle it, and they really let it get the best of them. That's something the Ironmen have had happen in the past, and so far tonight, definitely frustrated with how things are being called and just how they're performing. And so overall, that's definitely going to impact how you play. When you let fouls like that get you, ball was right there to grab, no one there. Trojans take advantage. 3-ball, no good. Eddie Bowe try to get a second chance shot to fall. And Kendricks, good shot. That's one of the first ones Kendricks been able to make. Lucas Winstead. James Kendricks out to Durr. Durr thinking baseline. He finds it, but couldn't get the shot. Trojans happy about that. So Lucas Winstead called for the foul. (40-24) Trojan lead. Spangler going baseline, finds Papino. Out of bounds, off 5. The other way it goes. Winstead over to Durr. Inside Kendricks. Good ball movement here by the Ironmen, trying to get a solid possession. Yeah, that's ball. The other way it goes, and that's how a lot of their possessions end up. Man, you got a mismatch there all day long. Papinu would take it. Yeah, Papino with the first one. Some substitutions coming in. Brett Dewey, Kyle Russell. And number 13, Noah Newton will come in for Papino once he's done shooting. Lucas Winstead, 3-ball, no good. So it's beginning to look like the comeback's not happening. Now a minute 50 remaining in the ball game. Ironman still needs some major stops, some tumbles on the floor. And no foul. Eggleston was looking for a foul. I agree with him. He was looking for a trip and didn't get it. So there's definitely been some questionable calls, both sides. But luckily, Jonathan Eggleston can be calm for the most part. Let his team know he's proud of them. But they got to keep their heads in it. They're up big, but still, minute 41 remaining in the ball game. Ironman looking for a good possession. They're going to need Kendricks to get involved. So good thing about the Ironman, they got 3 coaches down there talking to them. And all 3 of them very good at basketball, whether it's coaching it, playing it. Got 2 new assistants helping them out. Got Coach Hellwig. Ironman moving around. Winstead, another 3-ball, no good. And stays at. No, the Trojans will take over. Is out of bounds on the Ironman. Jace Hoogerhide with it to Noah Newton. Yeah, what a putback there by Elijah Newton. Off the rebound, good by Kushinaw. So the Ironmen remain winless. But some more improvement week by week. You're seeing the Ironmen piece things together. And the Trojans will advance to now 6-2 on the season. Fighting for that top 3 spot So far, Pelston, Bel Air, and Inland Lake and St. Mary's make up the top 3. And then Inland Lakes, Forest Area, and Central Lake all kind of fighting for it. But Bel Air could be the top spot once again, even with Gabe Merriweather being their only true scorer. But that team just a solid team. Played the Ironman earlier, and we saw a fantastic play by them and how great Merriweather pieces that team together. So, final seconds. Counting down, 12 seconds. So a lot of answers, a lot of questions, and no answers really by the Ironman program basketball. Guys, basketball program, the varsity program, I should be specific, because the JV has definitely fulfilled their requirements, undefeated, playing great basketball, but the varsity, complete opposite spectrum. They got to get a win soon. Got to wonder about, what they have coming up. Kurt Dingman should definitely be excited about some of the sophomores and freshmen he sees playing on JV. So, as this game ends, we invite you to stay tuned for all live coverage of Mancelona sports, girls and boys basketball, as well as wrestling. Final score, 45-26. Trojans come with the victory. That'll do it from us. Thank you for watching. I'm Brendan Morris. Good night.